Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to episode 5 of our favorite female-fronted bands of all time. We've got 30 days here in November. Each and every day, I'm going to be listing one of my favorite of the 30 favorite bands that have a female singer, or maybe in some instances two. And I'm asking everybody to do the same down in the comments below. Before we get going today, I do just want to apologize for no 4 Fusion Friday or Friday morning at the Funhouse yesterday. We had to say goodbye to our oldest husky, Maya, yesterday, which was as you can imagine, a really, really tough day here for us, and continues to be. So we'll make it up for you. We'll have both episodes for you next Friday, and bear with me over the next few days as as you can imagine, I'm going through a tough time here. Anyway, today, today as we move on here with some of our favorite bands with female singers, you knew this one was going to come at some point during the month. This was a British band, who in the late 60s and early 70s, basically a British blues band with 3 guitar players. Eventually, one of the guitar players left the band. He had some sort of issues going on, right? And they brought in another guy, who kind of took his place. The band went from a pure blues band into more of kind of like a atmospheric rock band, with starting to bring in some kind of U.S. sounds. Eventually, there was more changes in the lineup, and they brought in a female singer and her then boyfriend, guitar player and vocalist. Of course, I think you know where this is going. I'm talking about Fleetwood Mac, right? So we're talking Stevie Nicks. So here, this is an instance where you have basically 2 female vocalists. And actually, this is not your prototypical female-fronted band, because while you do have Stevie Nicks out there at the vocal slot, you've also got lots of lead vocals from Lindsey Buckingham on guitars and vocals, and then Christine McVie, keyboards and vocals, right? So, but again, the bulk of the singing is done. I would say, I don't know what the percentages are. If you go and look at all the albums they're recorded together with these 3 in the band, how many Stevie versus Christine versus Lindsey, how many were shared? There's probably, you can go and do the math, but regardless, you had Stevie Nicks out there in front. You had Christine just off to the side on the keyboards, and then also Lindsey as well. So for me, I'm going to pick, obviously, it's a no-brainer here, one of the biggest selling rock albums of all time, Fleetwood Mac, Rumours. Okay, the second album with Stevie and Lindsey in the band. Although for me, for my money, you kind of, if you have one, you got to have the other, right? To me, these are 2 peas in a pod. This was the first album with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. And to me, they go hand in hand. They're both fairly similar. They both have great songs. To me, they almost sound like they could have been recorded at the same session, so to speak. Maybe Rumours is obviously maybe the little better album, but they're both pretty damn fantastic. And let's see, there they all are. And I think a lot of times, there it is. Okay. I think, in a lot of cases, Stevie gets a lot of the attention in this band, but I do want to bring to light and give lots of credit to Christine McVie's vocals, because I think that she was just as important to the music of Fleetwood Mac, from this era, or everything going forward, obviously, and she was also in the band before. So, Christine's got a lot of history in this group, but I think that Christine's vocals are just as enchanting as Stevie's. Obviously, they both sing a little bit differently. One's American, one's British, but they both brought so much to the table here, and I think that's one of the things that made this band so great, is that you had these 3 distinctive vocalists, right? And lots of variety from album to album. I mean, of course, Monday Morning, Rhiannon, obviously, is just an absolute legendary song. Over My Head, just an enchanting song right there as well. Crystal, Say You Love Me, Landslide, World Turning, just awesome stuff. Very different, and I get how a lot of long time original Fleetwood Mac fans maybe kind of look down on this era of the band, because they went from being this very distinct, really great, British blues band into essentially they just basically turned into an American band, right? Even though you still have Mick Fleetwood and John McVie in the band, who are and Christine McVie, all British. Right now, you've got this influx of American musical talents, and the style and sound of the band changed drastically to whatever you want to call it, this West Coast sound, so to speak. But there's no denying the great songs on these albums. To me, it's like there are the three distinct eras of Fleetwood Mac. There's the Peter Green era, which is great for what it is. There's the Bob Welch era, which to me is highly underrated, highly underrated, and also great for what it is, which is a little bit of a blending of the first and the third era. Because I think that if you listen to a lot of the Bob Welch era, you can kind of hear the direction this band were going in, even though Stevie and Lindsey aren't in the band yet. You can kind of hear those kind of West Coast sounds, those a little more easygoing sounds, moving away from the blues, and I think that's due a lot to Bob Welch's influence. But Danny Kirwan, I think, also had a lot to do with that as well. But then of course Rumours, and there of course is Mick and Stevie on the front, and there they are again as well. Man, Stevie was hot back then, huh? But yeah, I mean, Secondhand News, Dreams, Never Going Back Again, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, Songbird, Silver Springs, The Chain, You Make Lovin' Fun, Gold Dust Woman, Oh Daddy. I mean, so many great songs on here with those enchanting, haunting vocals at times. Just, these are just two magical albums for me, and wanted to include both of them today. But obviously, Rumours is legendary album, great songs. So that is my pick today for day 5 here on the channel. The great Fleetwood Mac, featuring both Stevie Nicks and Christine McVie. And let us know what you think of this band in the comments below, as well as your pick for day 5 here. We're going to continue on throughout the month. This so far has been lots of fun, and it will continue to be. I got lots of, it's funny, when I think the first day, I read the comments every day, there were a couple of people that were like, Pete's going to struggle to come up with 30 bands for this. I'm surprised he picked this topic. My overall list is probably like well over 40 at this point, so I'm going to have to obviously save some for honorable mentions. I haven't even counted last time. I just keep adding more and more to the list, and I haven't preset the list, so it's like each day, basically what I'm doing is I'm looking at my overall list and picking one out, doing an episode, adding it to the final list, and then so that's kind of how I'm doing this. And there are some that I know are without a doubt going to make the top 30, and there are others that as I kind of go through the month, I'm like, okay, well, I really like them a lot, but it's not quite top 30 yet, so those will be for the honorable mention. So yeah, there you have it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. And for those of you who have reached out to me here on YouTube and via Facebook, thank you for your concern and for your understanding and well wishes and all that good stuff. And rest in peace, Maya. We love you. Bye-bye, everybody.